Hello, Utrecht. How are you all? Good? Having a good day?
Everybody having fun, I think.
There's some cool costumes here today as well. Who's in? There's some people in
Looks amazing.
good cosplay.
How are you doing?
Very good. Very good.
First
Yeah.
time in the Netherlands?
Second time. Came here for a stag do bachelor party in Amsterdam, which was very messy.
Yeah. Okay, and of course you were in the last season of Game of Thrones. Can you tell me a little bit about that? How that was for you in such a big production?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, Game of Thrones obviously is a huge show. It's probably the biggest on the planet at the minute. So, you know, to be a part of that is, well, A, a privilege, and also B, it's kind of mad to be on a set like that because it's just, it's the biggest out there. So the scenes that I was a part of, I was blown away while shooting it. So, yeah, it's an amazing feeling to be a part of a show like that.
Yeah, and how was it? Where did you all shoot for the movie, for the series?
How?
Where did you shoot?
Oh, where? We shot majority of that in Spain. Yeah, and it was just these giant plains of fields, and yeah, we shot. The whole thing just looked like a massive battlefield. It was crazy.
Hey, perfect. Zijn er vragen vanuit het publiek? Mogen jullie naar midden in komen, hè? Dus gewoon gaan staan. Als jullie vragen hebben voor Tom, stel hem alsjeblieft. Vindt hij hartstikke leuk, want jullie stellen betere vragen dan ik vaak. Tom, you were also a big role in Black Sails. Can you tell me a little bit more about how that was for you?
Yeah, I mean, Black Sails was a great show again to be a part of. I mean, it sort of comes into that same realm of a big production, and yeah, it was one of those things, starting it from the beginning and sort of seeing who these characters were going to be and discovering them, and then taking them on this huge journey. I mean, it was a great experience. Yeah, I loved it. Yeah.
Okay. We have a first question.
There's now time. So all the characters you've played always have, very different personalities.
Iets dichter bij de microfoon praten.
All of your core characters do have different personalities. What kind of character would you like to play next?
Good question. It's always interesting because you never really know what kind of characters are going to come up in scripts, And sometimes a character that's written down in the script, it kind of just jumps out at you, and it has elements to it that is unlike anything you might have done before. What I love are characters that might have these either like superpowers or like they're an action man or whatever, but underneath them is a really kind of deep person, and there's a lot of depth to them, and they're maybe hiding some dark secrets or whatever. So I like playing like the bigger guy, but someone who has got a lot going on inside as well. Because you don't often get those kind of characters that are the sort of the bigger dudes who have a lot of psychological stuff. So that for me is kind of a fun thing to do.
Well, thank you.
Pleasure.
Hi.
Hi.
You've done both movies and television shows. What do you like better, movies or television shows?
Another good question. I actually really like both, but for different reasons. Because the thing is with a movie is you get a script, and it's just a solid piece of work, and you have to kind of commit yourself, and you commit your training or whatever it is you're doing for the role. I mean, a lot of the time I'm doing like a physical thing, so I'm having to train for that specific role. And then you do like a 7-8 week shoot or whatever it is, and then that's it, it's done. So you kind of have to get these characters compact down into like a short period of time. Whereas the good thing about television, the reason why I like television is because you get, if you're lucky, you'll get a few seasons to really flesh out these characters. Not so much in Game of Thrones, for me, but in the other stuff I've done, you really get that time to discover who they really are, and the relationships develop, and then the characters changed because of those relationships and stuff. So yeah, having that time is always great with television. That's why I love doing TV.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
How do you experience?
Ietsjes dichter bij de microfoon.
How do you experience watching your stuff on the television? Are you able to immerse yourself into the story, or do you watch critically?
Which role is that?
How do you watch your own stuff? Doesn't
Oh,
matter.
my own stuff.
Yeah.
Do I watch my own stuff?
Sorry.
Do I watch my own stuff? Is that the question?
Are you able to immerse yourself into the story, or do you watch critically?
Oh, yeah, I hear what you're saying. Okay. Definitely not with my own performance. Like, I find it really hard to watch myself. Generally, you know, I find it quite hard. And there's a lot of stuff that I've done that I have never seen. I really enjoy the process of making it more than watching it back. But I like to be a team player, so like I'll watch like a lot of my mates' performances in the stuff I've done. Like, so when I do Black Sails, like I love watching all the other storylines, just to sort of see what they do. But I find it really hard to watch myself, so I kind of almost actively avoid watching myself generally. I'm all about like the enjoyment of doing it at the time. Yeah, I find it hard to do it sort of objectively.
Zeg je?
Kan ik nog even vragen?
Je moet echt veel dichter bij de microfoon.
Kan ik nog even vragen?
Ja, dat mag.
Would you say you're part of a fandom?
When I say I'm part of the fandom,
Would you say you're part of a fandom?
part of a fandom. Probably the only fandom I am part of is probably the Back to the Future fandom. Huge Back to the Future fan. I've got like, it's the one piece of like movie memorabilia that my wife will let me have in my house, and I've got, it's like a section, 3 sections of the car, and around it is each movie, and I've got that in my living room. And I think my wife hates it because it's like, it's ruined her decor. But I kind of love it.
Dankjewel.
Hi.
Hi.
How did you end up with the role of Billy Bones, and what did you like most about it?
How did I get the role?
Yes, and what you like most about it?
I think, well, I got it. Basically, I was coming to the end of Merlin, so we knew that the show wasn't going to get another season. We were finishing on season 5. So I started taking meetings for the gigs, and Black Sails happened to be one that was being made. So I just sort of read for it, auditioned for it, and fortunately they thought that guy can play Billy Bones. What was the other part of the question? What did I like most about it?
Yes.
I guess Billy, the reason I like Billy is because he's sort of like the team captain. He's there to take the heat from the manager, you know. I always put things into like football terms or sporting terms, but he kind of can take the heat from the team manager, but he's the guy that's got to be there for the team. And he's got to be likeable to the team, you know. And everything he does is for the good of the team. So that's why I really associated with him, really, I guess. And I really enjoy playing him for that reason, yeah.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Hi.
Hi, I like your hat.
Thank you. I was wondering what your favourite parts of Merlin were.
My favourite part of Merlin? I get asked this quite a lot. My favourite part was the friendships that we formed on that, particularly with between myself and like the other knights and Bradley James, who plays Arthur. We created like sort of a real brotherhood. And that was the best thing I took out of that show, and it was the best reason to go to work every day, because, you know, it's not often you do something where you really feel like you're just goofing around at work, and that's kind of what it felt like most of the time.
Right.
In capes.
Thank you so much.
Right.
Hi.
Hi.
I was wondering, in the role you played as Billy Bones, what was your biggest challenge you faced?
There's a few really. I mean, the scripts are quite dense in Black Sails. You know, you really have to kind of take them apart and figure out what the writers are trying to say. So that's always kind of, that was always quite a tough part of Black Sails, really, and really kind of sifting through that. But also the other part of it is the physicality element. Like Black Sails, they wanted us to do our own stunts as much as possible, which I love doing, like I'm all for that. But it was also, you know, doing repeats of these stunts and stuff all day, every day. It was pretty hefty, so like it was full on, but I mean, I love every second of that stuff, but it's pretty grueling on the body. Yeah, you're ready for a holiday at the end of each season.
Okay. Just one more thing. If there's one thing you could change about the character, what would it be?
They didn't have a beard in season 4. That beard was really annoying. It itched a lot.
Okay, thank you.
I had to use beard oil and all sorts.
Hi.
Hi.
If you hadn't been an actor, what do you think your job would be right now?
Oh man. I'd probably end up I probably would have ended up doing something in like personal training or something, because I'm really into my fitness and health and fitness stuff. So I probably would end up doing something like that. Because that's the outside of acting, that's the thing I'm like really passionate about. So I'd imagine that. Yeah.
Thank you. What was it like being roasted by a dragon?
Well, little bit of insight. I didn't actually get burnt. Although the stuntmen did. They properly burnt a couple of guys. Sacrificed their lives for the good of the show. You can now find them in a pile of ash in Spain somewhere. But they burnt these 2 stuntmen, and they made prosthetic faces of mine and Randall's faces. And in the prosthetic sort of test, they had to, while they were doing the mold of our face, they said, okay, just pull the face you're going to pull when you get burnt by the dragon. So I just had to sit for 20 minutes while they covered my face in clay like that. It was stuck like that for like a week. So that was kind of my input into it, and then the stunt guys did the rest. And then the one bit that we did, they put flames all around us and stuff, and we obviously had to react and stuff. But that was my experience of being burnt by a dragon anyway.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Was the dragon nice to you as an actor?
Nice to me, no, he set me on fire.
What was your most favorite scene to make when you were playing Billy Bones?
Sorry man, I missed that.
What was your most favorite scene to shoot when you were playing Billy Bones?
My most favorite scene? There's a few good ones. Probably the storm sequence in season 3. A massive storm we did. I would say that one. That took like almost an entire season to shoot. We shot it, you know, sporadically. And it was a big epic scene to shoot. But yeah, definitely the most enjoyable, because it was enjoyable physically. We were really telling a story through it, and we just got really, really wet. Yeah, it was good. Cheers, man.
Hi there.
Hey, no, that's good.
That's good? Ah, nice. How much does one need to work out to get those big, strong arms? Could you tell us a little bit about your fitness workout routine?
Okay, Mondays. What I always say, like with training and stuff, is like less is more in the gym, and the majority of this stuff is actually done like in the kitchen. Majority of it is in what the food you eat, right? You can pretty much do like, because everyone always focuses on like workouts and stuff, and one thing I've learned, like after speaking to a lot of experts and people who are, you know, really in the know, the more you kind of educate yourself on it, you realise that actually if you stick to a very kind of clean eating, you just eat whole foods and don't eat anything processed and stuff, then that's kind of more the sort of implements to get to that kind of thing. But otherwise, you just lift a bunch of heavy stuff for like an hour, once a day. Yeah. Cheers, man.
I'll remember that. Thanks.
Hi.
Hi.
What's your favorite on-set memory?
Of any of the things I've done?
Yes.
Ooh. Favorite on-set memory? That's a good one. You've stumped me. Favorite, to be honest, I reckon probably the best moment I had was when we were finishing shooting season 3 of Black Sails, and I had to stay around and try and shoot this sequence that we were trying to finish off. And at the same time, my wife was pregnant with Freddie, my little boy, and she was due any day. And they came up to me and they said, and I thought I was going to have to be there for like another 3-4 days. So my actual favourite moment was when they came up to me and they said, "Tom, we have good news." And I was like, "What?" And they're like, "You can go home, you're done." And I was like, oh my God. Because there was a guy who actually missed the birth of his baby during Black Sails, one of the actors, Zam McGowan, he missed the birth of his baby, he had to do it over Skype. So I was like, shitting myself that I was not going to get there. So that when they told me that and I flew out and I made it home for the birth of my baby, that was the best thing ever. So that was actually probably the best on-set moment. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
Miranda from this morning.
I was going to say, you've changed outfits.
Yes,
I thought you've either got a twin somewhere or you've changed outfit.
I just changed outfits. I was wondering, there's probably a lot of... sorry. There's probably a lot of joking around on the set of both Merlin and Black Sails. What was the best practical joke that was performed on set?
That was probably Bradley James on me. Bradley James hid my shoe and he filmed me looking for my shoe. I look very confused in this video of me looking for my shoe, and then he came up to me while I was looking for my shoe after about half an hour of looking for this shoe. He was like, "Just watch this video." And it was me looking for the shoe, and above my head on the top of the trailer that I was in was my shoe. And he got me good, yeah. I spent a good hour looking for that shoe. And I had the other one on, so I looked stupid. I was just kind of like hobbling around. "Oh, you don't want to see my shoe?" Wasn't a good look.
Thank you.
Hi. What was it like working alongside Colin Morgan and Bradley James?
Great. I mean, those two are brilliant in those roles, and they're both very professional. And Bradley, in particular, is very good at kind of jumping in and out of the role. So he can be goofing around 1 minute, and then he can jump into the role and be great. And then Colin is like super dedicated to everything he does. He's a very committed actor, very talented, but a super nice guy. Like Colin Morgan is one of the nicest guys in the business. So I don't have enough good things to say about the both of them.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Hi. You've been on Game of Thrones and Black Sails, which are both big HBO shows. Do you think you're ever going to be on Westworld? Or would you like to?
Probably not. No, because I'm committed to another upcoming show. So the likelihood is probably not.
But would you like to ever?
Westworld. I saw the first season. I thought it was decent. Yeah. There's lots of other shows out there that I probably, I'm always open to sort of like looking at what other options there are. But Westworld I thought it was good, but I'd have to probably see more of it. It's, the idea of doing a Western is cool though. Like being in a Western kind of world is cool. So that's something I'd be open to.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Hey Tom.
Hey.
Question. you do play in a lot of like historical like TV shows and movies like Merlin and Game of Thrones. Are you also gonna do that? Like, does it suit you really? And are you gonna do more of those things, or do you want to change like things more to like good cop or modern time like movies?
What was the other thing you said? You said, are you gonna do?
Like, does it suit you to play?
Oh, to suit me?
Yeah.
It's a funny one that, because a lot of people say, oh, you've chosen to do all these kind of roles, and I was like, well, actually, no, they're just the roles that I seem to have fallen into. Like they're just the ones that have come good for me. So I guess it's a world that maybe I suit because there's a physicality element to it. So because I'm a bigger guy, there's a physicality element to these battle scenes and stuff. But I definitely, I'm always open to doing more modern day stuff, because it gets to a point where you're wearing all these period costumes, and you're like, oh man, I would love to go to work in a t-shirt and jeans. Because they're pretty cumbersome, those things. Like their chainmail and stuff is heavy, but it's the stories are so good in the period stuff as well. Though they're a lot of fun to do. But yeah, I mean, I'm open to a sort of a varied amount of genres, and just so happens that a lot of those have been period so far.
All right. Well, thanks.
Thanks, man.
And with series like you've done Maryland, you've done Game of Thrones, you've done Black Sails. In those 3 series, what character would you love to play more than your own character? What's your favorite?
To do more. I would have liked to have seen where Dickon had gone actually. Because he had such a short sort of period, I would have liked to have seen, because I myself was intrigued by him. When I'm reading the scripts and stuff, I'm thinking there's a lot to be said for this guy, and if only he wasn't set alight by a dragon, we might have actually find out. But it's it's hard, because there's something like that character in Game of Thrones, you only have a small period of time to be able to kind of make a stamp and kind of go, okay, who is this guy? So you try and find these little things to bring out of them that make them likable and make them the guy that when he's about to be set alight, you're hopefully wanting people to go like, oh no, don't kill that guy. That's what I hoped to achieve when doing it. So yeah, probably Dickon. But I'd like to see more, see what he would have become really. Yeah.
And are there any projects right now where you're busy on, where you can tell something about?
I am busy on a project. Unfortunately, I can't talk about it. I'm like sworn to secrecy, but it's exciting, and I think when it's announced, I think people at these kind of events will definitely like it. I think they'll get something out of it for sure.
Very curious. So,
yeah.
And what do I want to ask? How did you came by auditioning for Game of Thrones? How was that?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I don't know if you remember in season 6, the character was actually played by another actor. Well, that actor is a good friend of mine, a guy called Freddie Stromer, and me and him have the same agent. And I just finished on Black Sails, I just finished shooting it. And Freddie, who was playing the role, had gotten this role on an ABC show, so his schedule didn't allow him to come back and do Game of Thrones. So my agent, when they called up and said, oh, is Freddie around to do season 7? She was like, no, he's not. But she was like, oh, but Tom Hopper's just finished on Black Sails. And they were like, oh, okay, we'll see him for it. So I went and met for it, and all was good, so I managed to do it. So it worked out really well.
So you knew it was Game of Thrones where you're auditioning for?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't the same name, though. I did not know I was going to be playing Dickon at the time. I just got told I was going for a meeting for Game of Thrones.
Okay. And how was it for you? Because the last final scenes where you were in, that was very special effects heavy. Was that different for you, for an actor to work with?
Well, I mean, a lot of the stuff that I've done, like Merlin and Black Sails, are both heavy, CGI, lots of computer-generated stuff. So it's kind of a world that I'm used to. I mean, the scale of it and like how vast it was, not so much. I mean, that was particularly, huge. But the CGI element of it, I'm quite used to doing that stuff. Yeah, the green screen and everything. Yeah, the world I'm used to.
Yeah, we have a question.
What's the best costume you saw today? And would you attend a Comic-Con in a costume? So what? As what?
Sorry, so what's my favourite costume?
You saw today?
Oh, seen today?
Yeah, and would you ever attend Comic-Con in a costume or something, cosplaying?
Ooh. I'd like to go because I've seen them before and they look awesome. And I think I'd be like a really big one. Is one of those Transformers in the big Transformer outfits. So I'm like 6'5", so one of those things. If you put like a platform on, I'd be like huge. What's the best one I've seen today? I've not had a huge chance to look around, but oh, actually, there was a girl earlier in an awesome scarecrow outfit that she made herself, and she had like the softest little voice underneath it, but literally scared me to death looking at her. I don't know where she is, if she's here, but she's probably too shy to say anything because of her little timid voice. But her costume was great. I really like that. I appreciate that a lot.
Thank you. Well, our time is almost up.
Cool.
Okay. Can I have a big applause for Mr. Tom Apel?
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
And Tom, you're still at the signing booth?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, till like 6 tonight or something.
Yeah. So everyone who wants to get an autograph or an handshake, you can come by Tom Apel. So thank you, and I will be back in a few moments.
Thanks, guys.